If you have not visited our beautiful Veterans Memorial in downtown Sulphur Springs, you need to do this. There's an event coming up very soon that will benefit this beautiful memorial, which is all these walls, all these names, the flags, and more. Let's find out a little bit of history about this memorial and how it was built in downtown Sulphur Springs. We have Clayton McGraw today with us, and we have Mandy Kennedy, who are going to take us on a tour through the Veterans Memorial.
And this memorial has touched so many lives. It really, truly has, and it's so beautiful. I can't imagine anybody having a more wonderful memorial than Sulphur Springs does, and it's a great tribute to the patriotism of our town and how much they love those that have served in our military.
Well, I have some people's names on these walls, just like probably you do, and lots of people in town. I feel a sense of peace when I come down here. Do you feel that, Clayton?
Yes. I tell you, I can stand between two of these walls, and I feel like they're there with me. It's a good feeling.
How did this memorial get its start?
It started from a picture that my wife made of one in Iola, Kansas. And I brought it back. I was commander of the coalition at the time. I brought it back and showed it at a meeting. And Walter Grice, who was a two-time recipient of the Purple Heart in World War II, he stood up and said, "We need one of these in Sulphur Springs for Hopkins County veterans." Dina Lloyd and Dwayne Schultz and I kicked it around for about a year. Then Dina Lloyd's stepson, Sergeant Chad Lloyd, was killed in Iraq. And when we went out to the cemetery that day, and there were so many people and all the flags and everything, and seeing all the patriotism, I said, now's the time. The next day I come down to the judge's office, and he and the commissioners was in session. They motioned me in and said, "What you got on your mind?" So I showed them my picture and told them my idea, and they said, "That's a great idea." Said, "It needs to be built right down there, pointing to this location," and said, "We'll back you 100%. I went over to the city manager, Mark Maxwell, showed him my picture and told him my idea. He said, "Let's take a walk, and I'll show you where it needs to be." He walked me to this very same location. And on the way over, Mark said, "I've been wanting to do something with downtown, and maybe this will be a start." And so then I went from there. I went and visited all the banks and all the businesses, around over the whole town, and getting their idea, if they would back it. And everybody was for it 100%. Look, kind of a little funny thing, when I went to Tommy Allison, Tommy had, he had got our other soldier here. He had been big hand in that. And so I talked to him, and Tommy said, "When you get your ducks in a row, come back and see me." So I did go back later after we got organized, talked to Tommy, and Tommy come aboard and became our financial raiser and done a wonderful job. And is still a big part of it, I knew I needed an engineer. So I went to Don Roundtree. I knew Don was an engineer, and I knew he was a dedicated individual, and talked to him, and he said, yeah, he'd come aboard. And actually, Don was the instigator in this design and all, and so he just played a big part, And we needed somebody, for getting the names and doing the computer work. So Pam Elliott come aboard, and she has done, and still does. And she uses her office, and everything. And Sam Johnson, though, at City National Bank, he's our treasurer. And he keeps us in line with the government, and all the information. We are a 501c3, and we can give Pam Elliott the credit for that. Other members that was long about then was Robert Carpenter. I knew I needed somebody, a construction person with a construction mind. So we talked to Robert. Robert came aboard. Dwayne Schultz, Art Romanock, and John Ward, just so many people. Now, my wife thought we needed to have 13 committees because there's 13 stripes in the flag. She thought we ought to have 50 members because there's 50 stars on the flag. I found out early on 50 members was too many.
Okay.
But one day I was visiting with Craig Roberts, and he said, let's name the committees. So Craig named them the committees. And people had just been so, I can't thank the community enough. We built this thing over $1 million, debt free, and it's been great, and it means so much to me and so many veterans,
And you used the word we. It was like we, the community, did it.
Yes, we. I give the community the credit. I sure do.
We feel that when we come downtown, don't we?
We do. We absolutely do. Everyone in this community loves this memorial, and you can come anytime, day, evening, weekends, during the week. It brings so many people to our plaza just to experience the peace you talked about, but the inspiring patriotism, just the selflessness of so many people that gave so much.
I wonder, Clayton, how many people have come to town and went home with the idea of this at their place?
Well, now I have had people call me that have visited here. I can't call their names, but ask me about it, and how you go back, how you get started. Mount Vernon wanted us to come over there and sit down with them, and that hasn't happened yet, and tell them what they need to do to get started, And but it's been, now we have had people here. I know of one group here that was here from Korea and visiting, because this one guy said that they want something like this in Seoul, and
wow.
So it's been worldwide visited. Now the day we dedicated, we had people from all over the United States. I know people that was here from New York. I know people that was California.
Do you remember the dedication date?
I do. I can't tell you the exact date. It was when we had our 4th of July celebration in 12, but it wasn't right on the 4th, I don't think. I think it was a day or two. And Mark Maxwell estimated 10,000 people here.
Wow. So 2012 until today, now more is needed for this memorial. Just because it's up doesn't mean the work ends. Is that right?
That's right. What we need money now for is to sponsor veterans that we know are veterans that has nobody here anymore. The people's all moved away and everything. We know them. We know they're veterans. They're okay to put on there. We just need the funds to put it on. And it costs $50 a name to put a name on there. The people that does this comes out of Albuquerque. And so $250 is the break point for us for the cost per name.
Okay. Well, let's take a little walk down to the next wall, and we'll talk about that engraving or etching that is done. Is it called etching, Clayton? Or maybe engraving the names?
Engraving.
They're done.
They have
letter by letter.
Yes, they have a big rubber sheet with these names on it, and they come and they paste that on there, and then they blast it with air. Mm-hmm. And they're the only ones that we know of that can do that, this one group.
Does it take only a short time, or does it take a long time?
These boys are real good. They know their business, and once they get here, it don't take them long. They're real good at it.
Now there's some space at the bottom of most of the walls. Some of them are almost full, like this one behind us. But this one, for example, Sacrifice, there's space at the bottom and the top, maybe for more names?
Yeah, that's for more names. Probably this will be the next one we go to.
Okay.
We leave that up to Pam. Her and Don takes care of that. And yes, now we have over 8,000 names on here now. And we figure we can get 18,000 by using the ends and the.
Okay.
Now, one of our big expenses is the computer. You know, we just got through replacing the computer.
The kiosk?
Yes, the
Okay.
kiosk. And that's one thing that gives us a problem. And then we have our Eternal Flame over here.
Oh, true.
And you want to walk over that way?
Sure, let's do.
Now, Rhonda Young is a sponsor of this, and we appreciate that so much. That plays a very important part.
I love this. You can see it at night. It just glows all over, and it says something so important. All gave some, and some gave all. And it was dedicated in memory of those from Hopkins County who gave all. On May the 30th of 2013, this Eternal Flame was a gift by Rhonda Adair Young. It's one of my favorite parts. I love seeing it act. I just really love it.
And the back wall here is, of course, we got the waterfalls that's turned off now on account of the freezing weather.
Okay.
But the inscriptions there on the back wall, that is an actual photo that was taken out here at the depot on Church Street during World War II, and that's what the photo actually looked like. Yeah.
During the seasonal times of year, this has water running down these walls. Mandy, have you seen
Yes,
that?
it is. It's really beautiful. And the sound, it's
Oh, yeah.
very, very peaceful. We all know what a water garden sounds like. So you can sit here at night and look at the flame and listen to the water. It's just one of my favorite places to be, and I know not just mine, everybody's.
Well, another thing are these very nice benches. You can come and sit down, meet someone out here. All along behind the flags there is an area to sit. I think young people really like the fact that they can just have a seat and enjoy the outdoors.
Might mention that the limestone here came out of the same quarry that the limestone did for our national capitol. And the granite came out of the same quarry that did for our courthouse.
Really?
I didn't know that.
At each one of these standing, there's over 40,000 pounds. Because there's big piers that go way down in the ground so that they won't lean or anything.
This was built to be permanent.
This was built to be permanent. Yeah.
These are lights.
Yes.
They're flush with the ground.
And those lights at night, I think, really set it off. Don't you like that, Mandy?
Oh, I do. And then the flags, sometimes the flags are still, sometimes they're moving. It's lit up. It's just, it has an ethereal feel to me. It's about as close to our loved ones in heaven as you can get.
Well, to me, I kind of think about they're here and they can look out on all the things we're doing in town. They're right here with us.
That's right.
You mentioned the kiosk.
Uh-huh.
Let's go towards that.
All right. Now we have these bricks along here. Now, anybody can put anything as long as it's not vulgar, I always say,
Okay.
in their person's name. A person don't have to be a veteran, maybe a business name or something.
Okay. Just someone who's a supporter.
Yeah. When we was organizing this thing, well, we call it Veterans Memorial. Well, when Sergeant Dean Lloyd, we said as long as a person, a veteran, had sometime in their life had a Hopkins County address with an honorable discharge, they was eligible to go on here. Well, Deana Lloyd, after Sergeant Chad Lloyd was killed, she said, well, Chad will never be able to on there because he never had.
Oh.
And one night I was just thinking, and I thought, hey, he's buried in a Hopkins County cemetery. So I took that to the committee, and said, hey, how about if they never had a Hopkins County address but are now buried in a Hopkins County cemetery? So that's eligible.
Okay.
And from day one on this thing, a big worry of mine, all right, when we're gone, is it going to be taken care of? And my wife and I visited several of these around over the country, and we even went to Washington. And just some of them not taken care of. Weeds growing up in them, and it looks terrible.
no.
So that's always been my worry and concern. But with Mandy and her people organizing, I don't have that worry anymore. I'm so thankful for that.
Well, while we're here in the shade, Mandy, why don't you tell us about the event that has been envisioned and is now in the works to happen?
Yeah, well, it did come to our attention that they had a big wish list. There's almost 2,000 names that have not been engraved on the walls, and that's huge on their minds. They're really wanting that. They're committed to having those people memorialized. And it's $50 each, so we've decided that we needed to do something to help. Clayton gave us a wish list and included the kiosk, the names. The Eternal Flame needs some care and some upkeep, and just for perpetuity we wanted to start something. And we came up with another way to not only help with the fundraising, but to honor our service people, honor the veterans and the active military and all of those, at a Freedom Ball. It started out as a military gala or something like that, and as we started brainstorming, the name came up Freedom Ball because none of us take for granted the freedom that these men and women have given us. And a lot of people have stepped forward. I'm afraid to name them all, but I'll try because I'm afraid I'll forget somebody. But Danny and Stacy Davis, Janet Martin, Laura Tully, Rachel English, my husband Joe Kennedy. I know I'm going to miss some. I'm really worried about this. Of course, Pam Elliott is just working tirelessly on it. David Gideon, David Watson. Help me, Clayton. I don't want to forget anybody. Linda Hager, of course, and Wanda Gallion. And they're all coming together, and we're reaching out to the community to help us. We've already had lots of underwriters, lots of sponsors. We've gotten a certain limited number of tickets left for people that have sponsored veterans to come that cannot buy their own tickets. We have a few of those left, but civilians are buying tickets just going crazy because they want to come. Also, there's going to be dinner and dancing. We've got some special entertainment, but Kelly Fletcher Band is going to be entertaining us for the first half, and then we've got Monty Tips Band for dancing later. We've got a really great program and some surprise things. It's going to be a full military run type ball. I've never been to one, so I'm kind of excited about it.
Well, and the beautiful location it will be.
At Cedar Canyon Events, which is out south of town on Highway 154. We're really looking forward to hosting this ball. This will be our first one. Yeah, it's going to be really neat. And it's uniforms. If any of the veterans want their uniforms to, can still fit in their uniforms, or if they'd like to wear their current uniforms, we're encouraging that, as a matter of fact. Black tie optional. Not formal if you don't want to come formal, but it is an option.
Well, it is something that our town has not had anything like this before for the veterans. And you mentioned there's another person, you briefly mentioned our Veteran Service Officer, Danny Davis, would be a person who could also answer questions.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you can also get tickets there. Okay. Pam Elliott has tickets at her place down on Conley Street, or Danny. Contact them for ticket information, or if they want to be a sponsor, if they can't attend, maybe they want to underwrite the ball, because the proceeds will be going to the wish list that Clayton gave us for the memorial itself.
Maintenance and upkeep. And well, we can't say perpetuity because it will still have to be done from time to time. From
time to time. We've had to redo the woodwork where we just put on new computers. And Mandy don't know that we're possibly going to have a World War II vintage Jeep there that night.
Oh, that's a surprise to me. That's kind of exciting.
Joe Dan and I just talked about it a while ago.
Oh, I'm glad y'all were going to tell me about that.
Well, I wonder if either of you could show us a little bit about the kiosk.
Yeah.
And how that works.
Well, we touch the screen, and what do we want to do? Find an engraving.
Okay, do that. You can
and then we'll put my name in there.
Okay. So first and last name.
I have to hunt out.
That's all right. You can hunt and pick.
There it is, right there. And
there's you?
That's me.
I didn't know you were in Korea.
Uh-huh. I spent 16 months in Korea.
And it tells where in this memorial your name is carved.
Mm-hmm.
You are on which wall?
I'm on the first wall here.
Okay, the honor wall on the south side.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then you will just have to hunt the name out once you're standing there.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah.
This has Merchant Marines, Navy, Army, Marine Corps, Air Force, and Coast Guard names carved on the walls.
Uh-huh, yes. Uh-huh.
Amazing.
Sometimes I come in at night or when we're up here and just put in other people's names just to find out where they served. It is. It's really neat.
And for Clayton, it says he's a member of the Hopkins County Military Coalition, awarded National Defense Service Medal, United Nations Service Medal, Korean Service Medal, and Good Conduct Medal.
And there's one that doesn't appear on there, the Soldier's Medal. I won that for saving a boy's life in Korea. And it was at that time was the highest non-combat award you could get. And funny thing about that, they had a big parade, to give me the And this general that pinned it on, he said, now don't you salute me first after I pin that award on you, or that medal on you. He said, because then you'll have that medal outranks me. So that just tickled an old soldier, you know, for that general to have to salute me first.
Well, will the soldier's medal be added to this?
Yes. I don't know why we didn't get it put on there.
Okay. Well, that's something that can be done through this computer system because it can be updated.
Yes.
Others can be added.
And there's another story about me saving this boy's life that's supposed to be put on there later. We just haven't got that done yet.
Okay. Well,
this is really neat. You can also go into different parts of it and get information about the memorial itself. It's not helping me right now.
okay. And I do not have my glasses on, so I cannot help you at all.
Well,
There it is.
Okay. There.
So you can get memorial information. It talks about the memorial itself and lots of thankful, grateful thanks. And there's also a part on there that has all the people that originally donated to it, what levels of donation, and there's a long, long list. This community is so good to everyone. They're very generous. They always have been. They're doing the same now. They're stepping up and they're helping out, and that's really what we knew what would happen. Our goal is to make this every year, to have a gala every year for the military and the civilians that want to come and support them. That would be fun.
I think it's so lovely that we can do it because some belong to an older generation who had a different taste in music, a different kind of lifestyle that they understood that's so different from today.
Yes.
And older people have to bend to today's ways so much that it's nice to go back and just, honor you for your time.
Yes, that's right. And we just appreciate it so much, all the veterans, we appreciate the people.
How you can help out individually, how each one of us can continue. This was called Constructing a Living Memorial, and it is constructed, but we're keeping it going through its maintenance and upkeep. So buying tickets or making contributions of some size.
Any size, anything is appreciated, anything.
So tickets are $100?
$100, that includes dinner and dancing, and we've committed to every $100 ticket, $50 of that goes to a name on the wall. So if we sell all 400 of our tickets, now do the math. That's a lot of money towards putting that many names on there. That's 400 names on the wall.
We're really just days out from the event.
Yes. Yeah.
Just a short amount of weeks. So if you are thinking of attending, now is the time to, go ahead and make your purchase of tickets.
And we're going to have valet parking, and we're going to have transportation for those that need it. And so it's going to be a great thing.